Start. Mr. Chairman, while I was moving the motion for referring this bill to the joint committee, I said that the scope of this bill was very limited and that it would be our effort to assist the state governments to introduce similar legislation in their legislative assemblies. Stop. Honorable members showed great concern about the delay in implementing Article 45 of the Constitution. Stop. The government are fully conscious of their responsibility in this matter, and I would like to assure the House that we are giving the highest priority to the introduction of free and compulsory education in the third 5-year plan. Stop. The delay in the introduction of this measure all over the country has been mainly due to lack of financial resources. Stop. I do not think that we still have all the resources that we want, but I am hoping that in collaboration with the state governments and the community, we shall be able to march forward in implementing this directive principle of the Constitution. Stop. Yeah. I think it was my friend who suggested that the central government should take over the full responsibility for imparting primary education. Stop. Sir, as he is aware, this matter was fully considered when our constitution was drafted, and though the central government would assist the state governments implementing this directive, it would not be right for the central government to take the full responsibility in this matter. Stop. In fact, in this field, there should be full cooperation and partnership between the central government and the state governments and the local communities. Stop. It is only when there is full collaboration and effective partnership among these various agencies that we shall be able to fulfill this directive, and the task is by no means smaller. Stop. It is a task of great magnitude, a task which has very few parallels in the history of the world, bringing millions of children into the educational institutions. Stop. As far as Delhi is concerned, the scheme will be implemented when the schools reopen in July. Stopera. If there is some delay on account of some reason, I will assure the House to condone that. Stop. Several honorable members drew attention to the various difficulties which we might have to face. Stop. We are also fully aware of them. Stop. It is true that in our country there are millions of children who are undernourished. They do not have even a satisfactory meal. They do not have even clothes to wear, and they do not have the capacity to purchase books. And when we are thinking of implementing this program, it will be necessary to make some provision for midday meals, school uniforms, and for the necessary teaching aids. So, we have made a small beginning in this direction also, and as the House is aware, several states are now making provision for midday meals. Stop. Kerala, Madhya Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, and Jammu and Kashmir, these are some of the states which have started making provision for midday meals with the assistance of the central government. Stop. Para. Sir, it is not always possible for the central government to take the full responsibility in this matter, and the cooperation of the community will be necessary. Stop. I think our friend rightly pointed out that if we are really earnest to make this program effective, not only to provide school facilities for children but also to provide midday meals, clothes, and books where they are urgently needed for them, it will be necessary for the state governments to levy some kind of an education cess stop era. Another important point that was raised by my learned friend was that in the past, in the first 5 year plan and in the second 5 year plan, money was not equally distributed between the states. Stop. In fact, he said and said it rightly that the states which were more advanced got larger grants than the more backward states. Stop. Now, this really made the backward states more backward and the more advanced states still more advanced as far as education is concerned. Stop. And in the ministry, we are now finding ways and means of assisting the backward states so that they may come up to the level of the more advanced states. Stop. Only a few months back, we had a conference of the education ministers of the so called backward states, and in principle, it has been agreed that the backward states must get greater assistance in order that the ideal of equality of opportunity might fully materialize. Stop. My friend said that this was a halting measure because in the bill there was a provision for introducing compulsion for children of every sex or both or in respect of the whole of an area or part thereof. Stop. Ultimately, of course, free and compulsory education will have to be made for the whole country, but to begin with, it will not be possible for any state government to have free and compulsory education in respect of its whole area all at once. Stop. Therefore, the bill makes provision for whole or part of the area. Stop era. As far as the Delhi territory is concerned, we are going to introduce compulsion, as I said, from July. Stop. It will not be possible to introduce compulsion all at once for the whole area. Stop. Gradually, we will extend the area so that we may learn from our experience in one area and develop a suitable machinery in course of time. Stop. It is intended that by the end of the third 5 year plan, there will be free and compulsory education for the whole of Delhi area for the age group 6 to 11. Stop. Now, with regard to this provision of either sex also, as far as Delhi is concerned, it is our intention to make it free and compulsory both for boys and girls, but we have made this provision because some of the states may not like to make compulsory for girls, or some of the tribal people may have to be exempted for some time. Stop.